Lightning can cause red, jellyfish-shaped flashes as big as 48 by 48 kilometers to appear above thunderclouds. These are called sprites, after their elusiveness, and are actually clusters of balls of plasma. The Great Filter is a theoretical point in evolution that only a minuscule fraction of species could evolve past. This may explain why we have never contacted other high-functioning species. Also, we do not know if humans have yet to reach it or have already passed it. Some owls keep blind snakes in their nests as helpful associates, reducing the abundance of nest parasites. A study has revealed that the majority of American dog owners are willing to end their relationship if their dog doesn't like their partner. Men's tennis players use a different type of tennis ball than women. Most weather services say that, on average, the amount of snow is 10 times the amount of rainfall. That is, 1 inch of rain is equivalent to 10 inches of snowfall. How squid chooses and holds particular skin colors to help camouflage themselves remains unknown and is particularly interesting because they are completely colorblind. 100 highest mountain peaks in the world are all in Asia. 99 out of them pass through at least one of India, Nepal, China, Pakistan, or Bhutan. Due to high-tech automation at the Lego factory in Denmark, when you open a set of Lego, you are the first human to look at the bricks. A black cat crossing your path, from right to left, is considered good luck in Germany. The Antikythera Mechanism, discovered by sponge divers in 1900, is sometimes called the world's first analog computer. Designed to calculate dates and predict astronomical phenomena, it was so advanced nothing surpassed it for almost 1,500 years. On February 24, 1942, U.S. military ordered total black out of Los Angeles and fired 1,400 anti-air artillery and thousands of .50 caliber shots at a hovering object for 1 hour. One popular account of the origin of the phrase Milky Way arises from the ancient Greek myth of Hera, wife of Zeus, breastfeeding Heracles, also known as Hercules. Hercules fed so strongly Hera recoiled, spraying milk from her breast, creating the Milky Way. The popular concept that humans only use 10% of their brain is a myth, and there is nothing to suggest that we don't use 100% of our brains. Revenue generated from mobile gaming is huge compared to other mediums of gaming. Even if not taking into account ad revenues, in 2021, mobile gaming pulled in $93.2 billion, which was more than paid gaming and console gaming combined. Although people live longer on average, the maximum age of humans hasn't increased in 30 years. This had led scientists to conclude that no matter how much medicine advances, the natural limit to human lifespan will remain around 115. An elephant's memory is so good that it not only recognizes all the members of its own clan, but even other creatures who leave a strong impression on them. A pair of elephants who had performed in a circus together were able to recognize each other when they met again after 20 years. If Earth stopped spinning suddenly, the atmosphere would still be in motion with the Earth's original 1,100 mile/hour rotation speed at the equator. All of the land masses would be scored clean of anything not attached to bedrock. Post-workout muscles aren't sore because of lactic acid buildup. It's a myth perpetuated by a doctor who experimented on a severed frog. Lactic acid is actually a fuel made from glucose and burned by the muscles to maintain energy. Soreness, which is typically experienced post-workout, is from micro tears in the muscle and the resulting inflammation. The Japanese government gives elderly people discounts on ramen if they surrender their driver's license. City spiders are getting bigger. One study found that when spiders lived in urban areas, they increased in size and had larger ovaries. Scientists have found increasing evidence that the selective pressures of city living are driving physical and biological changes in urban wildlife. The Roman Colosseum had 28 lifts which hoisted animals 24 feet up. Then cage lids and trapdoors in the arena floor opened simultaneously, unleashing beasts to fight each other or men. Exact replica of the lift was remade in 2015. A wolf was then chosen to be the first animal to successfully make the ascension in the replica, who received a biscuit when released into the Colosseum. If your name is Isabella, you have lifetime free admission to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, Massachusetts, with 2,000 artifacts from around the world owned by a woman addicted to collecting. Musicogenic Epilepsy is a rare disease that makes you have a seizure whenever you hear your favorite music. Horses hide pain very well, almost too well, due to their nature as range prey that historically wouldn't show weakness to their predators. One of the rarest pigments to be produced is a yellow, which is made from the dried urine of cows that are specifically only fed a diet of mango leaves. Boomerangs used for hunting are not designed for a curved return flight, but to fly straight and hit their target. Returning boomerangs are at most used to frighten birds into movement. The most polluted place on the planet is Lake Karachay, located near the Ural Mountains in Russia. In 1990, just standing on the shore for an hour would give you a radiation dose of 600 Roentgen, more than enough to kill you. The lake is located within the Mayak Production Association, one of the largest and leakiest nuclear facilities in Russia. Lake Karachay is now full of concrete that's intended to keep radioactive sediment away from shore. Madrid has one of the oldest running restaurants in the world named Sobrino de Botín, which hasn't closed its doors even once since it was opened in 1725. Biodiesel has the highest energy balance of any fuel. For every 1 unit of fossil energy needed to produce biodiesel, 3.2 units of energy are gained. 10,000 years ago, lions were the second most widespread land mammal after humans. They existed across Africa, Eurasia, and America. During the Cretaceous period, Earth's climate was so warm that there were no polar ice caps, and forests probably extended all the way to the South Pole. Local plants and dinosaurs evolved to live in continuous sunlight in the summer and darkness in the winter. The iPhone have negatively impacted the sale of gum because people are more consumed with their phones and are less inclined to impulse buy when waiting to check out at a store. Up until the early 1900s, it was completely normal for children of both sexes in America to wear dresses until the age of 6 or 7. Gendered clothing didn't arrive until just before World War I, when pink was recommended for boys and the more delicate and dainty blue was recommended for girls. People in Finland recycle over 90% of their cans and bottles because they get part of their money back from the cost of the product when these items are recycled. The Soviet Union did not admit that a reactor had exploded at Chernobyl until nearly 3 days after radiation from the disaster set off alarms at a nuclear plant in Sweden 1,000 km away. One study published in the Journal of Family Psychology found 74% of moms and 70% of dads reported preferential treatment toward one child. The city of Ordos in China is considered to be the largest ghost town on Earth, with the prefectural administrative region covering 86,752 square kilometers. Halfway constructed buildings blanket the town, and only 2% of its buildings were ever filled. If someone that annoys us begins to move, our brain perceives them as moving much slower than they actually are. NASA recovered metal from the WTC and used it on Martian rovers as a tribute to those fallen on the 9/11 attacks. In the UK, a white Christmas is defined by as one snowflake to be observed falling in the 24 hours of 25 December somewhere in the UK. 14.4% of males and 19.1% of females who are veterinarians have considered suicide since graduation. This is 3 times the U.S. national mean.